Let's go!
Time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome everybody. Nice to have you with us here in the studios today for the PJ Show on 94.3 The Game, 94.3thegame.com, and the IBX Media app. It's a huge day. It has become a tradition, and by tradition I mean the second year I think we've done this. My dad, Kelly Johnson, the coach, is going to be with us to preview the Final Four. Last year he was on with Pilk, and Pilk said, I don't care what happens this year, the Friday before the Final Four, we're going to have Coach on again, whether you're on or not. Well, I mean, it works out my schedule. I can do it. I'm about to head over to the ballpark, call the game on TV for ESPN Plus because the game's at 6, so it all works out very, very well. And then there's a couple of big surprises in addition to that. First of all, Pilk, intern, Henry gets her name wrong all the time. Intern Cameron is in there with you. Do we have a shot of that, or is no shot of intern Cameron? No shot, okay. Oh, there it is.
I thought she was going to jump in on the way.
Yeah, let intern. She always jump. Hello, intern Cameron. Now, intern Cameron had pink eye this week, and
that is a HIPAA violation, sir.
Oh well, she told it on the air. She said it on the air. Yeah. Let her speak into the microphone. Be like Buscemi and let her speak into the microphone, Pilkington. I didn't violate HIPAA, did I, intern Cameron? No HIPAA.
What are we talking about right
You had pink eye earlier in the week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, see,
guys,
she admits that.
They brought it up Wednesday.
Yeah. You brought it up Wednesday.
Well, you guys were like, why weren't you here?
Don't you guys me on that. I didn't even know you were not here. But you were the one because Henry brought it up.
Yeah, you know him.
Right. Yeah. So if you're going to sue Henry.
He's first.
Yes, absolutely.
You're not even in this. You're fine.
Yes, good. See, tell Pilkington that. So this is exciting. We have intern Cameron in the house. And then, as if that's not enough, look who's here today. Wags. Come on, Pilk. Get it for the vast video. There he is. Wags. Jonathan Wagner from On3 in the building. What the heck?
How's it going?
This is like the greatest thing ever to see you in here. It was the greatest surprise ever. I knew you'd be at the game tonight.
Yeah.
A little pit stop on your way over?
Yeah, I came for IGO show earlier, and then we went to lunch, and we had time to kill until 6 o'clock. So
might as well kill it on this show.
Yeah, Philip said Patrick's at the door, go let him in. So I said, come on in, Patrick.
All right, we want to jump in here. We got a lot to get to. Let's go ahead and do the top 5. You going to do the top 5 with us?
Sure.
The top 5 at 5 with Wags.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
Okay. Give me a number 1. Let's get intern Cameron to do number 1 because I don't think Pilk probably has the numbers up. In fact, intern Cameron may do them all.
Number 1.
All right, there you go. There's a little Winterville coming out and intern Cameron there. All right, let's. What do you got, Pilk?
Number 1, the Pirates got off to a good start on the diamond last night against arch rival Charlotte with a 12-2 victory in just 7 innings of play. Luke Payne threw 4+. That was a career-long outing, 78 pitches. After the game, Coach Cliff Godwin giving his overall thoughts on the game as a whole and specifically the outing from Payne.
It was awesome. I thought Luke Payne gave us a breath of fresh air, first start for us, and just gave us an opportunity. I thought Jack robbing the home run probably let him settle in a little bit, but to give us 4 innings was huge, especially with some guys down for us. I thought our offense was awesome.
So I think that was the big thing is that he gave you 4 innings. Actually got into the 5th before he was pulled, and still up 6 runs. Cliff Godwin was still quick to go to the bullpen yesterday, and at that point I left, and obviously, Pilk, I found my keys. So I called Pilkington during the game. I thought I'd left my keys in the TV booth because I was dropping some stuff off after softball, but I did find them, Pilk. They were in the studio.
Good.
But that's another story for another time. So here's what I think, guys, and this would be the big takeaway for me is tonight, and Cliff Godwin said this after, just because Norby's going doesn't mean it's a victory tonight. This is a Charlotte team that can hit, and they are throwing their number 1, which is easy No, Steady Eddie, not Easy Eddie. Steady Eddie Copper, the South Carolina transfer, is going tonight. So I think this is going to be a pretty intriguing pitching matchup. And I don't think it's necessarily a cakewalk, even though ECU ruled Charlotte last night, which I know a lot of fans are happy about, Pilk and myself included.
Yeah, I agree. I like the decision keeping Norby on Friday. Mm-hmm. I said it coming in, he threw 108, 97 pitches the last 2 weeks. So pushing him up a day scared me a little bit, so I'm glad they kept him on Friday. But Luke Payne gave you probably, I think, the most important individual performance of an ECU player this season. Starting off the series with 4 innings like he did, setting the tone for a weekend with a depleted pitching staff. So I've been saying it. That's what I believe. But yeah, tonight is going to be a great one. And I feel we're back to the point with Ethan Norby where I feel pretty good about a win when he takes the mound, but they're probably saying the same thing about their guy. So it's going to be an interesting one, but I like ECU's chances.
Wags probably knows this because he's also the co-host of the Bucks on the Pond podcast about ECU baseball. But, Ethan Norby's accomplished so many things. He had a career first against UTSA. Do you know what it was?
I don't think I do.
Okay. Pilk, do you know what it is? Because you know all these nerdy stats.
Sounds like a Johnny Stats stat to me.
No, it is not a Johnny Stats. It's a Val stat. He had the immaculate inning.
Oh, was that I knew it was the first in the Cliff Godwin era. Was that
the
first in the
That was the
history
first
of
for Ethan Norby. The immaculate inning. 3 strikeouts, 9 pitches in the 4th inning.
It's pretty good.
There you go. All right, next, Pilk.
Number 2. East Carolina had their first full scrimmage today on the football side of things. After the scrimmage, Blake Harrell gave his opening thoughts on how he thought the day went.
As far as the scrimmage goes, I thought we saw some good things. The thing I talked to the guys about is just playing with great effort and great energy and making sure those things are at a high and all time, getting them ready for game day. It's hard to simulate that sometimes in practice because you have drills or you have stations or different periods. But you get out here and just play the game a little bit. Some of those things show up, how much you got to improve. Try to get, even number of reps the best we can. It doesn't always play out that way. But I think we got some good work in. I think it's a good place for us to start and build for next week. The next 2 weeks, we got 2 more weeks of spring practice left. The next 2 weeks we'll treat like game week as far as a Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday preparation, and then play the scrimmage on the weekend. So looking forward to that, see how much we can grow between this Friday and this time next week.
So until they look at the film, we're really not going to know anything. I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, what did you even see out there, Pilk? I mean, it was... You got to go for the last 20 minutes?
Yeah, about that.
And what were they doing at that point? Patty cake or
no? The good thing is we did actually get to see a couple good red zone possessions, which was really good to see.
All right.
When I first walked in, I saw like 3 straight punts, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" But
we're to that point in the proceedings.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like 3 and out punt, 3 and out punt. It was literally just like first punt team, second punt team. Yeah. So we when we got to see the red zone side of things, look. The offense, you could definitely tell, I think, looked a little more tired, I think, than the defense, especially up front. I think due to the offensive line, a couple guys working different positions, they were seeing more reps than maybe the D-line guys. They were a little tired in the hips, and it caused them to lose a lot of the battles in the run game. But, man, this defense, man, they're playing with energy. There was a couple takeaways, and they were takeaways. They weren't necessarily giveaways. I mean, they were earning those, and it was good to see good open field tackling. There was a lot of energy out there, so that I can speak for. But as far as schematically and all that, yeah, I probably saw 8, maybe 10 real plays.
Leave it to Pilk to put lipstick on a pig, right?
He's good at that.
He is really good at that. On 3's Jonathan Wagner. Here's the question, Wags. At what point are we doing away with spring football?
It's at least the scrimmages and stuff. You kind of feel like eventually, it might not be very long.
Scrimmages would be more important, but I think it's gonna be like the NFL where you have weeks in the preseason where you practice against somebody, maybe.
Right. I guess I was thinking more of the spring game itself. Was probably not going to be around very long, but yeah, spring's important. But at the same time, it's now everyone's so worried nowadays about, how much can you work so early, get guys hurt, and then, how much do you want to put out there for other teams? So
there's that, and I don't think you want to put players out there on film with portal time and all that.
You're right. That's true.
That's the big thing. Can Cameron do number 3?
Number 3.
Wow.
It's good. Number 3, Tommy Lloyd has signed an extension at Arizona. He will make $7.5 million a year. Also, Wags and I were talking before the show. Do you have the details in front of you, Wags, where that Carolina, I guess, offered him a boatload of money, even more so than the Wild Kitties.
Is this a little bit of an On3 exclusive here? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, this is just information I've seen on Twitter.
All right.
I've got
it's called X now.
Got it right. Sorry, X. Matt Norlander, he said that UNC offered Tommy Lloyd a top 2 contract in college basketball. Lloyd will take less to stay at Arizona, but he will bump his salary up to $7.2 million starting next season. His staff pool will get a bump, and incentives will be brought back to his contract. And most interestingly to me, he will no longer report to the AD.
He didn't like the AD. He and the AD had problems. Who's he reporting to?
That's a great question. I'm not quite sure.
Sounds like he's reporting to himself and God, and that's about it.
DM Norlander to find out what's going on, Wags. Get that done. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting, guys, we've talked about it on this program. This is closer to UCLA and Indiana than it is Duke, Kansas, even Kentucky. I would even say Michigan and Arizona. And that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of the boomers that are in this audience who maybe grew up as Pirate football fans and UNC basketball fans. I mean, this ain't what it once was. And for years they operated at a hometown discount with Dean and Roy that they weren't having to pay out in a big way, coaches. I am a little surprised. I was getting a little worried that they're going to hire Lloyd. Dusty May is sneaky enough he may leave. I don't know, though. I don't know what the buyout is at Michigan.
Wags, what'd you say at lunch?
I don't think he would leave.
I'd be crazy, too. Why would you leave that job?
I agree. And especially in the Big Ten, you're going to have a path to being as good as they are every year.
And the other part, true. And the other part is this. The TV money, there's such a discrepancy between the two leagues. You're never going to not have them. I mean, not that you would be holding benefits at UNC, but I mean, that's a difference. That makes a big, big difference.
Well, and then here, you would hope that the schools would get a little more funding from all this gambling money, but our state legislators can't get their head out of their ass.
Don't start that with giving money to Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill doesn't need any money. The gambling money needs to go here.
Well, it needs to go here into Charlotte because South Florida is going to be fully vested in App. Yeah, but I mean, they got to get some of it too. Them and the Wolf Puppies.
Well, they're going to.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of negotiation. By the way, 2 things that the big hen Henry Hinton was wrong about, and Cameron would love to hear this, I'm sure. One, he was wrong about Tommy Lloyd going to be the Carolina coach. He was like Garen frickin' T in it on Talk of the Town this week because he talked to some of the sweater vest crowd up there, the wine and cheese sect, and I could tell you Tommy Lloyd was not going to go there. Number 2, he was wrong about when the guy told him during a fundraiser that, we're not going to give any of this gambling money to NC State or North Carolina. Hogwash. It's going to wind up there. It's just should we get this? I think across the board I could live with all 5 of the public football, big boy football playing institutions getting the same thing. But that's
I could, but they're not going to.
Wags, give us a number 4.
I don't remember what number 4 is.
No, just say number 4.
Number 4.
Oh, my God. All right. Great job, Wags.
Thank you.
Number 4, Phil will not play in the Masters next week due to some family health issues. He put out a statement today that he will be, or I think it was actually late yesterday, saying that he will be taking an extended leave of absence from golf as a whole, and that includes next week's tournament in Augusta.
He would not have won it. Although this is a
tournament,
tournament,
not made the cut.
Well, I don't know about that. This is a tournament he knows how to play, but he probably would not have won it. And
it's a left-handed golfer's course too.
Right. So I mean, it's a blow, though. I mean, people will still watch, but it is a little bit of a blow. Golf's so fragmented; it's very frustrating. That this was the only one of the occasions where the best players in the world were all at the same tournament. So. All right, for the sake of time, let's do number 5. Pilt?
All righty, number 5. Wags, this is your time to gloat. The Carolina Hurricanes are the first team in the Eastern Conference to clinch playoff berth thanks to you guys helping out my Bruins yesterday with a 5-1 win over the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's 8 seasons in a row that the Canes have been in the playoffs to start the Rod Brindamore era, and given where they were before, that's an incredible feat. So it's awesome. I think all year long I've kind of been down on this Canes team, and I'm just not sure if they're the team that's going to go on a run. But the more the year goes on, and the Panthers aren't going to be there, the Rangers obviously aren't going to be there, you start to kind of think, okay, maybe they have a chance. So I like the Canes. I like the team, and now goaltending is probably the biggest issue, which was the opposite this time 3 months ago.
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
Time of year where I get on the bandwagon.
That's right. Hey, join.
I will. You know I will. All right. When we come back, thank you, Wags. Great to see you.
Yeah.
The great Jonathan Wagner. Awesome to have him on here. All right. When we come back, the coach, Kelly Johnson, in a tradition unlike any other, not the Augusta Masters, but the coach being with us to preview the Final Four.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. 2 real burgers, better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Listen up. He's talking now.
Sorry, thought we were vibing.
The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back to the show. We've got Pirate Baseball coming up at the top of the hour. We'll join Coach O and Dylan Johnson on the program, or on the pregame here in a little bit. But right now, a tradition that started last year and we carried on this year. It is the preview of the Final Four with a very special guest, Pilkington. Go ahead and introduce our guest here.
Our guest is former college basketball coach, former high school athletic director, and the man that brought Patrick Johnson into this world, the coach, Kelly Johnson.
Coach.
How much did Patrick pay you for that introduction?
I was
the last part.
Yeah, I don't know. I was, sometimes you got to be a kiss ass every now and then, and I guess today's just my day.
Here's the question,
Thank you,
Coach.
thank you.
Can you believe we've got not only Pilkington but Wags on the show today, and now
really?
Yeah, Wags was here earlier, and I mean these guys, they're slumming it with me today on this show. They're not on with any other time. They're on with Igo at the drop of a hat, but here they are slumming it with me today.
I can't believe it.
By the way, nobody gave your Cardinals love during the baseball preview show.
I that's why I turned it off so early, because I listened to it. I know, but seriously, I listened to it for a little bit. I said, they're going to go this long without giving my Cardinals any love. I said, they're not going to give them any, so I didn't listen anymore.
Well, they don't deserve any, really. So tough times.
I didn't say they deserved any.
Oh, I see. You just wanted some. I understand. All right.
Yeah.
Pilk, now, last year, Pilk, you did this with the coach. But before we get started and preview the Final Four, which I understand is tomorrow, we've learned that here on the show. It's a breaking development. Let me ask you this: what is? Let's play that. This is from our friend Josh Graham's Westwood One syndicated show. He talked to John Shire this week. Man, what a get! Right. And so I guess, Pilk, the question is: had Shire gone back and watched the last play? And this is what Shire had to say.
It's been different. Yeah, it's been a different approach. I'm still digesting. I'm still feeling it, and I haven't gone there yet.
So you haven't rewatched any of it?
No.
So I think that's probably the whole game he's not gone back and watched.
Yeah, sounds like.
Yeah.
Are you surprised at that?
No, I'm really not. I mean, especially with it being such a, season ending, and just the way it happened and all. No, it doesn't surprise me. I read things about when UNLV just blew Duke out in 1990. Coach K didn't watch that for a long time, and I think coaches don't. I mean, he'll watch it eventually, but I wouldn't. He's probably doing the right thing. Just get away from it.
So, Coach, I do have a question for you. What makes that decision for coaches? Because you're right, Kay didn't. Shire had admitted to watching the Houston film almost immediately. Didn't watch this. You go back to the Cowboys beating the Dolphins in Super Bowl VI, and Shula immediately called the team in and made them watch that film and say this isn't going to happen next year. Obviously, they go undefeated and beat Washington and go 17-0. So there's one extreme and then there's the other. Is there a certain emotion that coaches go through? What makes them choose, hey, let's watch it right away and let's let this one digest?
Well, I think there probably is, and different coaches do it different ways. And the one, I mean, if you're at the professional level like Don Shula was, and you're going to have most of those guys back, that was probably a pretty good idea. I think like at the college or the high school level, you kind of let's get away from it. They're going to see enough of it on social media and all, and it's been a long season, and you just need to get away from basketball a little bit. But I mean, I think as a coach, if you really think, if you like, he might show it to him the first practice of the season. I know Coach K, when in '91 he had the score up of the '90 game against UNLV at the first practice, not knowing he'd get back to get a chance to beat him, just to show his team, what could happen again. And so, it's a feel, I think. I mean, most coaches, if they tell you, it's just a feel they get. And coaches know their teams real well, too. Shula probably knew he had a group that this would inspire him.
All right. We got the coach, Kelly Johnson, my dad, on with us here. Pilk, you guys talked the Final Four last year. So I'll let you take it here and get the preview of the two games from the coach. So go ahead, Pilk.
Well, I remember how last year went. Coach and I were in a much better mood, so the segment was a lot easier, But so I guess we'll just start left side of the bracket and then go over to the right. So we got UConn, Illinois. I think UConn, coach is better probably on paper. I think they are a little worried about Illinois' length. The UConn faithful, I know that's kind of the thing they keep preaching to me. They're worried about the length of Illinois. And, the tough thing about Illinois is you can't focus on one guy because they don't totally have a star, but also who do they go to in late games because they really don't have a star.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm not so sure, like I say, a lot of this is feel and stuff, but when I started looking, just doing the little research I did, I found some things I didn't really realize. UConn finished second in the regular season in their conference. UConn lost their last regular season game to Marquette, who I think had a losing record. They also got beat in the finals of the Big East tournament by 20 by St. John's. So, because I was thinking, this might be UConn's year. I mean, UConn's peaking at the right time. But after I looked at that, I'm kind of like, hey, UConn might have just pulled one. They were just fortunate. They were just, everything went right for them this game. I don't think this is your typical UConn game. And maybe if they'd have beat Duke by 20 or Duke had lost to St. John's and then they beat St. John's or hadn't won in such a dramatic way, people wouldn't be, I think that's why people were saying, oh, UConn's hot. UConn might win it all. I don't know. This is not a bad Illinois team. The Big Ten was a good conference, but they did lose in the quarterfinals of their tournament, and they did play UConn back in November, and UConn beat them by 13. And if looking back at that game, I looked at it a little bit in the first half. UConn jumped on them right to begin with. I'm just, watching Illinois in the NCAA tournament so far. And the way they beat, who was it they beat? Iowa. The way they beat Iowa, Iowa's playing hot, sort of like UConn's hot. I wouldn't count Illinois out. I just think they're a good offensive team, and those teams kind of worry you, because if they get hot, UConn's not going to beat them. If they're clicking on offense, they'll beat UConn. And, and I know UConn's favored and everything, but, UConn's really more of a defensive team. I think it'll be a great game. I really do. And I consider it a toss-up, which I do both these games, but I don't know. It was hard to pull them apart looking at them the way I did. And, because the one thing you say about UConn, I think all three of us can agree, they were in the toughest region of this tournament. They were in the East, the toughest region, and they beat UCLA, Michigan State, and Duke.
Yeah.
To get to this Final Four. So, maybe they are peaking. Maybe they are playing their best basketball right now, but it's a toss-up game, and I'm picking Illinois.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think they're both toss-ups. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there, Coach.
Have Cameron write this down.
Okay.
So Coach goes Illinois. Pilk, what's your pick for the first one?
Huskies.
Okay. Wags?
I'm also riding.
Hang on, Wags. Go ahead, Wags.
I am also riding with Illinois.
Okay. I'm going to go Illinois just because I have my Illinois connections. That's the only no other reason. All right, so we got 3 Illinois and UConn, although I don't know. I'm changing mine to UConn. I'm going to go with UConn, Pilk. I think UConn gets there. All right. All right, Pilk, take it away on the next one.
All right, Coach. Well, I think everybody I've talked to, their left side of their bracket's all shot to hell, but the right side of the bracket, all of ours looked the same. Let's be honest. We all had it, Michigan and Arizona here. I mean, maybe some people had Iowa State coming out of that region, but look, or maybe even with Virginia with the way they played in the ACC tournament. But this, to me, it seems like this game I circled when the bracket came out. These two teams have probably been the two most consistent all year, and they're playing in. Duke's been consistent, but they're playing in real conference, unlike Duke, who plays the Little Sisters of the Poor every other game. So they've actually had to beat Kansas and beat Illinois and beat teams like that to get here, beat Texas Tech. So how do you see this one going? Because look, I think Arizona's a slightly better team, but at the end of the day, it's we're talking about splitting hairs here, probably the difference in their talent level.
Yeah, but the one thing too is Arizona is the only one of the four that won their regular season in their conference, won their tournament, okay, and then they lost 2 games the whole year. They were to Kansas and Texas Tech, and Texas Tech was in overtime, and that was back in the first part mid-February. And
yeah, Toppin was still healthy in that game. Yeah,
and they've not lost since then. And I think at the top 4 teams, I think the Big Ten was probably you can say top to bottom, they're the best conference. But I think if you broke it down, okay, let's just look at the top 4 teams in each conference. I think the Pac-12 was stronger. So, I think they've got a good chance. Now, Michigan, they won the regular season, only 1 loss. But they did get beaten at the Big Ten championship game, by Purdue, who kind of come on at the end of the year. And then and then they lost to, I think they lost to Wisconsin sometime during the year, and then their other loss was to Duke in that non-conference game in late February. So, I mean, this is, again, it's a toss-up, hard to pick, but I don't know. I just think that Arizona. I'm just picking Arizona over Michigan. I think they're going to win it. I think they've proved themselves, and I think they're going to win it. And again, I think if you say, well, what's your 2 biggest reasons? Because I think their conference was toughest at the top, and they won both the regular season and their Big Ten tournament. And you got to, they played like champions so far, and I think they'll continue to do that.
So you got Illinois and Arizona.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cameron, write this down. Illinois and Arizona for the coach. All right, Pilk.
Yeah, look, I picked Arizona when this thing came out. They have been the perennial tournament chokers, really, probably since they made the finals, or really since they made the Final Four last back in 2001. I think we're watching 1997 all over again, though. I think this Arizona team's the team to do it. I think Michigan will be right there the whole game, but I think it's going to feel like they're chasing them the whole game.
And Michigan's favored, correct? By 1.5?
Let me look.
I think they are.
While you're doing that, Wags.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I really think it could go either way. I could see it coming down to the last second, but I am also going with Arizona, and I'm afraid that we're going to be sweeping here, depending on what you pick.
I would go with Michigan, but because I think they may have the best player that's still in the tournament. But they've also got Elliot Cadeau, and they don't have the other guard is hurt, so they can't pull Cadeau out when he starts having Elliot Cadeau moments. So I got to go Arizona. So Arizona, UConn is my final.
Yeah, and Coach was right there. Michigan is favored. It's surprising. Michigan and Illinois are the 2 teams favored in this. I would have
surprising.
Yeah, the other 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I was surprised also when I looked at
So,
it.
Pilk, you and I are picking against the experts in Vegas. We could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
All right, Cameron Boozer, the Player of the Year, Coach. Right call?
Oh yeah, I think so. I really do.
Okay.
I mean, he had a great, for a freshman. I think he was the best player.
I got
He
you.
carried that team all year long. He really did.
There's a lot of people that don't think he will be a great pro. Does he come back?
I don't think he does. I think he'd be crazy to. But I mean, it's probably not a question of money and things like that. Is he going to be LeBron and Michael Jordan and Kobe and Larry Bird and no, but he'll be a solid pro in my opinion, and
probably better than Hansberg. I would think.
I just don't think he's going to.
He'll be a better pro than Handstravel for sure.
Yeah, but he can shoot the ball from outside, which Hansberger couldn't, and he can handle the ball a little bit better, and he passes real well. He really does, and he's going to be. He's not going to be put on the block, and I think he'll be. His dad surprised a lot of people as a pro and didn't even go in the first round. And I think he's got more. He has more of a perimeter game than his father ever had.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, I don't think he returns either, but if anybody who's in that kind of that lottery pick ever is going to return, it would be the guy who could play one more year with his twin brother who's played together with him for 14 years. That would be the only way.
And I don't think money's an issue.
No, it's well, heck, you could make more in college than you do in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, he would get the biggest amount of NIL deals for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, him and his brother are still going to make money this weekend with all the commercials are going to be on.
Yeah. All right, good stuff, Coach. We appreciate the preview very much. Thank you for hopping on with us.
Okay, and last year I didn't even talk about Florida, so I made sure I talked about everybody that in Florida won it. So and it was similar too. If you think about it, everybody was thinking Duke Houston winner would be the winner, and look what happened. And I never thought Florida would beat Auburn,
Yeah.
But this year, really and truly, I was shocked Florida won it. I won't be shocked if any of these four win it, but these four are it's going to be a good tournament. It's like Wag said, it could go down to the last shot. I mean, I could see all three games going down to the last shot.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, and just so you guys know, there's the New York Yankees, and in the National League, it's the St. Louis Cardinals. Just don't ever forget that.
Oh, my goodness. No, based off World Series, he is right.
All right. Take care, Coach.
All right,
we'll
guys.
see you later.
I appreciate it.
There he is, the coach, Kelly Johnson. Good stuff. All right, we're going to come back, and we'll wrap up the show with Wags here and more. Stay with us. Patrick Johnson Show.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
It's been different. Yeah, it's been a different approach.
the show band of Juliet Jake and Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers.
That's right. We've got a sixth news story here in this 5 o'clock hour. There's a minor league baseball game going to be played at the end of the month at the prison that Jake got let out of in Juliet. This is an actual old baseball field. In the 19 teens, the warden thought a good way to build the camaraderie amongst the prisoners was to let them have baseball games.
Okay.
So they built a field. They continued to play baseball there for 86 years until the prison closed in the early 2000s. They are revamping the field, and the Juliet Slammers will be hosting a game there on April the 30th.
Why not? I like it.
I like it too.
little Blues Brothers there as I cough all over everybody out here. All right, let's see here. Some final. All right, Wags from On 3 and Bucks on the Pond podcast. What happens tonight, ECU and Charlotte?
I think we have a low-scoring game, but with Ethan Norby on the bump, I like ECU, and I think the offense does just enough. So
Okay.
a close 1-run, 2-run win for ECU.
Okay, all right. Pirates then take the series. Pilk, you got anything to add before we go?
No, I like Wags' prediction.
On Monday, we're going to have with us Greg Horinda to preview the national championship game. So that'll be on the Monday edition of the show, The Coach. All right, intern Cameron, thank you for being in today.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have anything to add to this? Was this more fun than the mornings?
It's nicer to not have to be here at 5:30 in the morning.
Well, the correct answer is yes, and that was a long way of saying that. All right, we will greet you on Monday for the Patrick Johnson Show. And looking forward to that. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Final Four. Go Pirates tonight against Charlotte. And we'll see you on the TV side in a few minutes.